We appreciate both of them. We appreciate both of them. Often competing in our events. And here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the Italian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is LetaleX. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the other Italian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Azura. Let's go. Let's go. Fourth base. Ah, no. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our 7th and final best of 3 of the broadcast. And do we finally build up into a macro game here? Do we get into the mid game specifically? Do we build up into 3 base saturation, 3 base economy? I mean, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map. Very small map. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline, typically, but it's a PvP. Anything can happen. For now, we're just scouting. We're scouting across the map and no big commitment. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Does anyone manage to count to 4 this series? As I mentioned before, we have not gotten up to like the mid game in tonight's broadcast. It hasn't happened. Has not happened. It's been hyper aggression the entire broadcast. You talk about 4 bases. We haven't gotten into like 3 base versus 3 base. Like 3 base economies, like mid game back and forth hasn't happened. Like for example, last game, last series, Art took a third. He had a saturated, that is true, but he began with a 2 base all in and he broke the 3rd base of Eba, so there was no back and forth. Like Eba was like, you know, he was struggling for air the entire game, like after he lost his 3rd. So we don't count that. We don't. I took a 3rd base, yes, but after a successful all-in where he crippled Eba. There we go. For now, we do have a Stargate opener out of Azura. Okay, so we do have a macro start out of our Protoss player. Likewise, both players do pylon block each other, delaying their expansions, and we'll see if, likewise, LetaleX also throws down a tech of choice. Looks like he doesn't want to. Okay, so we have a faster Nexus out of LetaleX. We do have a Stargate out of Azura. I'll be honest, out of every PvP we've had so far, and we've had a lot of PvP so far tonight, this is looking like the most macro-oriented. LetaleX is expanding, and a Stargate is not really built to do critical damage, it's built to harass. Built to harass, going for the Oracle, into the expand. This is designed to give Azura a lead, ideally. And LetaleX comes in for the scout. Yeah, Hallucination goes in, confirms the Stargate, confirms the Oracle as well, and LetaleX, she should get in position, either with a battery or with the initial units. There's a very low chance of this Oracle finding damage. For now though, we're shading. Zeb safe in the shade, so far LetaleX is keeping up. Does wall off, both players going for their Twilight Councils into Blink Stalkers, safety battery in the main. See Azura attempt to commit. Oh, does shade into the mid. Just shade in. We gets 1 probe kill, but for the cost of 2 adepts. Yeah, not quite worth it. Not quite worth it here. Better defense for LetaleX. Oracle dives in. A battery will out heal the DPS output here of the Oracle, but the battery isn't done yet. Needs a couple of seconds. Stalkers, they rotate. They keep up. Yeah, they will keep up. The battery's done just in time as well. So the Oracle has done no damage, rotates over towards the natural, LetaleX likewise in position as well. It is in position. And with that, Azura is forced out. Now, at least he keeps the Oracle alive. That is true. Does keep it alive, can always go back in, can always find some more damage, but for the most part, has been denied, has been deflected. With that, LetaleX does have a slight lead. He's ahead economically. He's up in workers. He had the faster Nexus, of course. Azura fighting for map control. Behind this again, both players are embracing Blink. No additional gateways yet, by the way. And soon we can think about expanding. Speaking of expanding, Azura does set up a stasis trap to delay the third base of LetaleX. Ooh, moves out with a pylon though. Yeah, the probe moves out to set up a proxy pylon across the map. How many gateways? Ooh, okay, with 2 bases all in. God damn. We were so close, by the way. We were so close to embrace the macro game. 2 gateways to get thrown down, 4 gates back at home with potentially a proxy location across the map as well. We're setting up for a heavy aggression here on 2 bases instead of expanding. Meanwhile, LetaleX, oh, nice dodge here, nice avoid of the stasis trap. Stalkers are massing for Azura. Azura, he commits. If you remember, this build is very similar to what Art did. Art versus Ziba, if you recall. Art had 3 gates at home and 1 proxy 4th gateway. Here it's 4 gates back at home with extra warp ins. Azura does get a 3rd though. He did not get a proxy. There it is. There's that proxy pylon. Azura's pushing. And we'll see if LetaleX can hold. Looking at the army supplies here, the supplies are close to be fair, but we should be getting that warp in. LetaleX, he himself has only 2 gateways, but he does have immortal production. That might be enough. He even hallucinates an immortal as well. Batteries are on the way. And there's a backup pylon. 1 pylon goes down. Azura comes in from behind. A nice reaction by LetaleX. He does pull away in time. Avoids the stasis trap. Avoids the trap. And Azura not quite able to break through. He does catch a sentry. Okay, nice pickoff. Picks off a sentry, backs off, and we are building up. We're building up into the mid game. Again, as opposed to Art, who had gone a proxy 4th gateway, here it was all back at home. It was all back at home, so slow warp ins, not as committed. Azura did expand as well, so less committed than Art's variation. Less committed. And so far, LetaleX is defending well. He's defending well. Ooh, up until this moment, the Adepts they shade into the mineral line. 2 Adepts, they get 1-shot probes. They get 1, they get 2. 2 probes go down. Whereas LetaleX, he doesn't overreact. He's ready for the main army. He's ready for the army. The Oracle is coming from behind. So far, 3 probe kills. This could have been a lot worse. Could have been worse. But again, with the faster 3rd expansion here, Azura, and with the economic damage as well, Azura, he does take a worker lead. He now takes that economic advantage away from LetaleX. He's taking it away. Both players embracing their mid-game compositions, going for a Blinkstalker into Charge Ults into Archons. Again, unironically, for the first time tonight, we're getting into the mid-game. It's happening. It's happening. So Blinkstalker Charger Archon here from Azura. Likewise, LetaleX also working towards Mass Immortal into Glaive Adepts instead. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Cian in the chat. Cian, obrigado, papi, obrigado. Fala galera. Good to see you, good to see you. For those that don't know, Cian, he is a Brazilian caster, a caster over in Brazil. Does cover a lot of tournaments, of course, a lot of amateur events as well. Whether it was a cast or a ladder session, hope you had a good time. Hope you had a good time. Obrigado. Gracias. Do appreciate it. Geez, that's a lot of gateways. We have 6 gates on the way. That's going to be 10 gateways in total. Again, limited gases, the glaives are amassing, and soon LetaleX will commit. He will commit across the map. Now, for those that are curious how these army compositions work, LetaleX's composition here does not scale well into a long game. This does fall off at a certain point as we're going Mass Immortal, Mass Adepts. It can work well early on against the more Zealot heavy composition, but as Azura gets a bigger economy, gets a greater army, incorporates more Archons as well, then Azura's composition will just outscale LetaleX. Not just that, the size as well also so in favor of Azura as well. Yeah, here we go. So I guess what I'm getting at here is that LetaleX is on a timer. He's on a timer. We gotta commit soon. And again, LetaleX is the first player to engage. He has to. But there's already a heavy Archon count. Again, the backbone of the army are the Immortals. And there's 4 Immortals so far. The Archons will ensure that the Adepts cannot shade in. So we cannot shade on the army. Gotta take it slow. 4th base under 5. Stalkers, ooh, they come in from behind. A nice time with the Prism. Prism goes down. Massive pickoff. Prism does fall. The 4th base does crumble though. LetaleX takes down the fourth. Azura being patient, being very patient, but he does get supply blocked. Oof. Yeah, brutal supply block for Azura. As LetaleX is still reinforcing. It's 5 Immortals. Reinforcements, they meet up. And both players are about to max. Both players are maxing. Doesn't get the prison this time. Just focus on a couple of probes. That's nice. Some economic damage. It's okay. But again, this army is just so beefy. Comes down to the engage. So he does push on the right hand side. Azura out of position. Oof. He's out of position here. Leading out a couple of zealots early on. Now we commit in. Now he does commit the Archons. We have 2-3 Archons that aren't quite engaging. They're stuck behind the army. Better concave here for LetaleX. Yeah, better concave. He's getting some of the Archons as well. Focusing them down. He gets 1, 2, 3. He's going to get all 4. And again, these units do nothing in the fight. Oh no. Yeah, miscontrol by Azura. And LetaleX is overwhelming. He overwhelms. He breaks through. Takes out all the Archons. Even finally the Archon gets engages. Nice stasis trap, but it's too late. It's too late. Does not matter. LetaleX overwhelms. And with that, he's pushing into the army. GG gets caught. LetaleX, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very awkward engage there from Azura as he wasn't able to actually incorporate his entire army in that defense. Very, very awkward. That's the downside of Archons. They can be very clunky to work with as they have limited range. And likewise, we have the better concave, we have the more efficient fight out of LetaleX. Better concave, better engage. GG, well played. It does claim the first game. And now we're loading into Tokamak. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be loading into one of the other older maps in the map pool. Once again, to reiterate, OSC, they do feature an extended and expanded map pool where players vote on older maps that they want to incorporate. So that's why earlier in the broadcast we had Beckett Industries, we had Submarine as well, and now we have Tokamak, which is older but still quite modern. It's only from, what, like a couple of seasons ago. Here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the... It's from last year. It's from the Italian. We have the Italian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 1-0. It is LetaleX. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Italian Protoss, representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Azura. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be opening up, and initially you have LetaleX moving out. You have my attention. Okay, scouting. Does move out to scouts. Welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak again is from only a couple of seasons ago here when it comes to our map pools. Tokamak is a very macro map here. It does favor longer and later games. We have a very secure natural 3rd and 4th base. We don't have maps like this too much anymore, where it's very easy to set up on 4 bases and then take a 5th base. We had a lot of late game. On Tokamak in the past. But there's a PvP, and the reality is that PvP often does break those kind of norms. Doesn't matter how defensive a map can be, because of the warping mechanic, because of the mobility of the Protoss army, and because of their ability to proxy. My eyes are on this probe. Larger maps can still incorporate a bunch of aggression here in PvP. Hello. As the probe is kept hidden here on the left-hand side. LetaleX, he does get his second pylon back at home. Interesting. And Azura, his own second pylon, is going to be across the map, but it is a fake proxy. Okay, so fake proxy pylon out of Azura. What does that mean? Well, both players are scouting, both players are counting pylons, and LetaleX, he knows that a pylon is missing. He's like, something is wrong, something is amiss, and Azura wants LetaleX to overreact, because this proxy position is not in position for a 1-base all-in. There's no proxy robo, no proxy gateway. The most that we can expect here is a proxy Stargate. That's the most we can expect out of Azura. Either Stargate or nothing. And oh, Twilight Council. Okay, there was an option C. So no robo, sorry, I guess option D. No robo, no Stargate, no gateway. It is proxy Twilight Council. This usually means DTs, right? This usually means we're going to be hiding the Dark Shrine, which is why the probe is in position. This is quite rare in this matchup, and I would say this is risky. So, running it back here, because of the proxy, there was actually a very high chance, because the pylon is missing, that LetaleX goes for a robo opener. If he went for a robo, and he still might, by the way, okay, third gateway, then that would be just detection then and there. For now, he expands. Very greedy response at LetaleX. Very, very greedy. There's that Dark Shrine for DTs. And so far, LetaleX has 0 detection. If he doesn't get a robo soon, he may just die. He may just die. LetaleX is scouting with hallucination, confirming that the base is delayed and that there is a robo back at home at least. Ah, there it is. Defensive robo. Okay, defensive robo is on the way, so this is a way to ensure that LetaleX just doesn't straight up die. If he was greedy, and if he didn't go for the robo, if he was setting up for a Twilight Council into Blink, for example, then, again, like we have seen players like MaxPack insta-GG, players like Hero insta-GG, like even the best pros players in the world have just insta-died to a build like this. It happens. Happens to the best of them. But again, he has the robo. Has the robo. We should be seeing an observer soon. Adept say threaten a shade. Oh. And they will get in. Okay, not bad. To Adept taking one-shot probes. This should not have happened. Yeah, miscontrol by LetaleX to allow for the shade to get in. So far getting 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 5. Oh my god. Does misclick towards the end there. 4 probe kills. Still not bad. Hallucination goes in. Should be looking suspicious. Immortal on the way. Not the observer. Sorry, there's already an observer. There's already an observer. DT's revealed. Observer is here. And DTs, they do no economic damage. Yeah, 0 economic damage here. This was a big commitment here from Azura, and so far it's not been worth it. Due to the Twilight Council and the Dark Shrine, that also means that we're delayed when it comes to an Immortal production or Blink or any kind of tech. This is a rough start for Azura. It is a rough start. Once again, zoning Azura back. Oh no, the prism! Jesus. Calm down, baby, calm down. Prism does pull away, we're going to charge. A little bit of desperation here, but we're rushing to charge into Immortals. This is looking like a 2-base all-in, but it makes sense considering the game state that we're in. I'm expecting extra gateways, but we'll see. We'll see. Likewise, LetaleX, do we go into Glaives? He's getting a Forge. Typically, that doesn't coincide with Glaive Adepts, but we'll see if he goes into charge instead. Blink, okay. Going to Blink Stalkers. LetaleX building up into the mid-game. And do you see what I see? More gateways. Yeah, 2-base all in. 2-base all in. We're getting up to 6 gateways back at home. That's a lot of gates. So 2-base, 6-gate setup. Again, Azura knows that he's behind after the initial tech and the investments and the opener. So he's just gotta go. So far the prisms they fight each other. LetaleX does recall in time. Does recall back home. LetaleX throws out his own 3 extra gateways, so he chooses not to expand or to delay his expansion. Fixating on his production. There's a later third. And soon it's going to be go time for Azura. Now it's going to be awkward here because Azura actually went for a Forge, so +1 is still not even halfway done. What I'm getting at here is that we want to wait for +1. We want to wait for the upgrade, but it's still a ways away. Does expand. Does get a later third. Hallucination will confirm. LetaleX, he can now compare the third base with his own. He knows that his is faster. Moving out for harass, double adept. Oh, once again, nice rotation. So that zones away. LetaleX is pushing. He'll be applying some pressure here. He does have the more mobile composition, as he has all these big stalkers. Oh. And he does catch some zealots. Gets one. Takes off a zealot. Does poke further in. Morphing in more Archons, more Dark Templar. I mean, we do have a pretty hefty immortal count. That's 4 immortals. It's not going to be easy to break. Not easy. So LetaleX just going for the tech. Catching the Dark Shrine, the Twilight Council, and the Pylon. Azura, he pushes across the map. He commits. LetaleX is also racing back home. He's racing back. The Observer has spotted the move out, has been following. Oh, we're coming in for the flank. Can he get the Prism? Oh, he blinks. He blinks in. And he doesn't deny the warp in. He will snipe the Prism, but no, he doesn't deny the warp in. Zealots commits. We have to pull back. And so far, nice kiting. Nice kiting here, picking up more Zealots. LetaleX, he pulls away. We'll lose the Immortal. But now there are no reinforcements. Yeah, no reinforcements, not for Azura. Immortal goes down, he gets one, he gets 2. Yeah, 2 Immortals fall. Stalkers, they collapse in from behind, and everything's gonna go down. Yeah, with tweaks up every Immortal, every Archon as well. There's just no buffer, there's no support. We need Zealots, we need some kind of army here, and there's just nothing. As the Archons, they get focused on one after the other. Expensive losses here for Azura. Expensive losses. Zealots, now they arrive after the fight. And the Prism finally moves in. Still no damage from the War Prism. But let's see, claims the fight. That was how many? That was 5 Archons and 4 Immortals going down. Heavy losses there for Azura. Hefty losses. And now he's down to purely Zealots. Going for the counter attack. I believe recall is available. Yes, recall is available if need be. LetaleX is moving in. So is Azura. So let's break forward. Azura does hit the mineral line. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, probes are going down, but at the same time, LetaleX just commits. He's going to win the main fight and break into the third. 7 probes going to be going down and getting up to 9 probe kills. Up to 9. And again, that's nice damage, but the problem here is that there's no main army to defend. Oof. Prism goes down, the final Stalker as well. LetaleX distracting the mineral line. And back at home, LetaleX, he has reinforcements. He has defensive warp ins. If he so chooses. Yeah, there are warp ins back at home. LetaleX, he will hold. Both players will lose their bases, but LetaleX, he has that more efficient army. And he just kite well against these Zealots. Triggering the shields. Has dealt with the Zealot run by. There are more Zealots moving out, by the way. Trying to harass across the map. Oof. A little bit ambitious there from LetaleX. Yeah, moving a little bit too far. Got to be careful. Zealots take it across the map. LetaleX, he just warped in. He just warped in. Yeah, there's the recall. There's the recall back home. Azura's buying time. He's getting up to a 3rd Immortal. True. Getting up to 3. Again, there's not many Zealots. Down to 3. Down to 2. Down to 1. Yeah, no Zealots left. Oh my god, warping in a bunch of Archons instead. Okay. I mean, that's a way to hold. He needs time, though. No. Yeah, they're going to be targeted. Getting one already. Gets one. Catching the Immortal. Gets one, gets two Immortals, one Immortal left. Weapons they continue. And again, Azura just cannot hold on here. Not like this. The lack of economy from LetaleX is giving Azura a chance. But he just can't win these fights. And we just go for the dive. We go for the dive. Just focus on the Immortals, one after the other. 0 Immortals left. Only Chargeless and Archons. Oh, the juggling though. The control. Oh. Say that still bleeds out a couple of Stalkers. A couple of Stalkers still go down. But in the end, LetaleX has too much. Azura's been trying to hold off for the past 5 minutes. And it's been impressive. Like, he's held for 5 minutes. Impressive. But again, there are just so many Stalkers. Nice blink control, right? LetaleX is blinking back, preserving his army. So much of it is deep in the red. GG gets called, and LetaleX will claim the series 2-0, advancing on into the next round. GG. Whew. And GG, well played, congratulations. LetaleX will claim the series. He will advance on. My condolences to Azura, as I believe that is going to be Azura being eliminated from the tournament. I believe that was a lower bracket match. But GG, well played. With that, congratulations, as we do have results coming in. Let's go. Let's catch up in the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Un momento. There we go. Bam. Okay, so exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it yourselves. From the top here, we just covered Shameless versus Jumi, if you recall earlier. Shameless did take down Jumi 2-1. Shameless is now in the upper bracket semifinals, where Shameless is going to be going up against UD Soldier. So the PvPs continue. We're going to have Shameless versus UD Soldier in the upper bracket semis. Scrolling down, we had GG Machine. He took down Moja. GG Machine also does advance on to the upper bracket semis. He's waiting for the winner of Honmono and Art. If you remember, Art took down Rebellion, Honmono took down Baby Marine. So we have Honmono versus Art coming up next week in that lower bracket quarterfinals match into GG Machine. So far, I would say that these are the expected results, with Shameless, UD Soldier, and GG Machine advancing on. Who is favored against Honmono and Art? Honestly, Honmono has some killer TVP, and he has a good chance against Art. Like, I feel like in a macro game, Art is favored, but that's not going to be a macro game. we know that, but we know that. Meanwhile, we have the lower bracket. You actually can't see those matches, but for example, Azura versus LetaleX was in the lower brackets, and of course, LetaleX did eliminate Azura from the tournament. Likewise, we had Art versus Eva as well, where likewise we also had Art eliminating Eva from the tournament. So Art advances on, so does LetaleX. Azura and Eva are now out of the tournament. Again, unfortunately, the Wikipedia page doesn't quite show that. Hold on, un momento. I guess we can show off the challenge brackets. It's a huge bracket though. It's huge. I'll do my best. I don't know if I can show it all here. Let's see. Bam. So this is challenge brackets, and bam, there we go. You can see there the lower bracket just down here, where we have a plethora of players. We have MinoVK, F2 Click, Art, Eba. We just wrapped up that series, if you recall, where Art did eliminate Eba. We have Hatsu versus Sebestus. We have LetaleX taking down Azura. It's going to be LetaleX versus Hydra in another PvP, and we have Minizerg UA versus Milky Cow. Ooh, that is a spicy ZBT down there. Definitely looking forward to that. And then we have Fiant versus Defiant. So again, plenty of games remaining here. This is why this tournament usually lasts around like 3 months. Like around 3-ish months is expected, just because every game is casted. On the one hand, we're almost kind of reaching the upper echelons of the upper bracket, right? Like we're almost there. We're already in the upper semifinals. That is true, but there are still so many games to be played here in the lower brackets. So many games, so many matches, and again, everything is casted on a weekly basis. It is all casted, so still plenty of matches to go, plenty of StarCraft to come on the horizon for the OSC Elite Rising Star. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Again, when it comes to our scheduled broadcast here, bam, you can it's so full, man. It's so full. Oh my god, if you missed it, we were live casting GSL last night. It was amazing, it was beautiful. If you missed it, I do recommend the VODs over on Soup, but we were live last night with GSL. I will say that this schedule is not completely accurate. So first things first, originally we were slated to cast What Is TV Monday later on this evening, as our schedules booked up to cast a day every day. We were going to be casting the What Is TV Monday this evening, but I'll be honest, last night's GSL cast was like 6 to 7 hours. It was intense and I'm giga tired. So we have decided to reschedule the What Is TV Monday event, the cast I should say. So we're not going to be covering it tonight. We'll be pushing it back to a later date. The issue is that just like, especially May is just so jam-packed with GSL and RSL. You can see here GSL's all over the place. This is GSL Season 2. GSL Season 2 does begin this week on Wednesday, and we have RSL over the weekend. Because of that, it's just a very, very, very stuffed broadcast and stuffed schedule. To the point where, like, for example, Tunic Up is usually on Sundays, and if it's not on Sunday, it's on Tuesday. But this week it's going to be on Friday. We're gonna have a Friday Tunic Up. We didn't even have Tunic Up last week because again the schedule was just so full of everything. So we got to make room. We're gonna try to squeeze it in here. So we have Tunic Up on Friday. We have COVID Giants Cup Friday morning. We have GSL on Wednesday and Thursday. The Thursday morning GSL cast, that is the finals rebroadcast. As I mentioned previously, when it comes to our GSL coverage, we live cast on Soup, and we cannot show that VOD on other platforms until 48 hours later. So that is why you can see the GSL Saturday and Sunday cast. That is the rebroadcast of the Wednesday and Thursday coverage. So it's going to be live cast on Soup on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we have the rebroadcasted VODs on YouTube and on Twitch on Saturday and Sunday. That's why it's like doubled up. We have our live cast, then we have the rebroadcast later on. Likewise, we have the Podcast, we have Kung Fu Cup, Kofi Giants Cup, RSL, STC, plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. And again, originally we were going to be covering What Is TV Monday tonight, but again, I'm very fatigued after yesterday's cast. Like my voice, my throat is like very strained, very, very strained from last night from GSL. So ideally, I don't want to speak. I want to calm down, get some rest, get some food, and not speak for a day. Beautiful. Until tomorrow for Kung Fu Cup and Podcast and Pegasus Cup and everything else. So that's our schedule. That's our schedule. And again, just to reiterate, we won't be casting What Is TV Monday tonight. We'll reschedule it for another day. Reschedule for like another week, I should say. So we just watched what, 6 series of Animals? 7 best of 3s. We just caught 7 series back. Crazy. Take care. Thank you, Lake Colonel. Thank you. Yes. I will try to take care of myself tonight. We'll take care. No casting. I might be tempted to do a stream. Might be tempted to like ladder stream or something, or like a Final Fantasy stream. But outside of that, we'll take care of ourselves. Take care. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. And again, outside of tonight, we do have a very packed broadcast schedule for the rest of the week with GSL, RSL, Podcast, KFC, STC, Kofi Giants Cup, and Pegasus Cup as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. If you enjoyed the broadcast, check us out over on YouTube. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. Likewise, if you want to support us monetarily and support our tournaments, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. What are our tournaments? We have 2 monthly tournaments, such as Master Swan Open and Sea Duckling Open. They're monthly tournaments, and we have our regular weekly tournament, Sparkling Tunic Cup, which you can see here is this Friday. Usually it's on the weekend, but because of the RSL playoffs, we don't have any room for Tunic Cup over the weekend, so we pushed it to Friday instead. We did accommodate, we did reschedule Friday. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Kung Fu Cup and for the podcast as well. See you next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao, hasta luego.